All right, there we go. And let me share my screen. All right, so I attempted to actually put some kind of notes here together for the direction we're going here. And the first thing that I will start with is we already have a ton of sponsors that have committed for 2024. The list continues to keep growing. I want to give a huge shout out to Lisa, one of our volunteers, who's been helping secure those that are joining for 2024. There are 4 names that I'm going to mention specifically on this list. The Edge Automotive 4x4 is powering 2024 again. They are our top sponsor. They work with us in so many different ways to help us meet our mission. So stay tuned for how we're going to collaborate together in 24. But it definitely is a two-way street that we work together. I mentioned the telephone man already for making this conference call possible, as well as making donation to allow us to help our mission. Jake Custom Fabrications and Ultimate Extreme all are huge contributors to Epic 4x4 Quest and have been for more than 1 year. So thank you to all of them. If anybody was interested in becoming a sponsor, has a business, please reach out. We'd love to have you. If you don't have a business and you're wondering how you can help, of course, donations always help. If you have an unused item, for example, that you want to donate for us to use for a raffle or giveaway or auction, we would always take those as well. And you can choose to donate as if you were a sponsor as an individual. You can do it anonymously if you want. We do have some that do that. We have some that have monthly contributions that come through PayPal. So thank you to those that do that. We appreciate you. And then I'll just tell you, there's a lot of businesses out there that do match for donations. So you might check and see if you have a company you work with that matches. I know mine, for example, will match for donations. We are a 501c3 through the IRS. I do have all of our disclosure information, EIN, tax IDs. All of that is on site of our website, so you can always access it, or you can always reach out, and we're happy to provide anything that's needed to make that happen. Few things are changing for 24. So thought we would just kind of touch base on that real quick before we jump into the event itself, which I know is why you guys are actually here. But you guys know, most likely, if you've been with Epic at any time, that our mission is to help our law enforcement members and our first responders with any issues that they face. There's a lot of stress and anxiety and PTSD that happens to those that are actively working, as well as so with those that are retired. And then we unfortunately have those that are injured in the line of duty, as well as our fallen officers. So we do several things to do along the year to help with that. We have 2 law enforcement first responder ride-alongs that we do, or bring your own vehicle and follow along with us, a mini 4x4 build. We've also thought of this as being another way where we could potentially even do driving courses or recovery courses versus a build, if that's a better option for the person. So if you guys have any officers or first responders that you think would be a good option to nominate, feel free to reach out to us. We give 1 free spot away to an officer for our annual event, and then a large majority of our funds actually go to MC1 Foundation to help first responders and officers that were injured in line of duty, and then Colorado Concerns of Police Survivors, also known as Colorado Cops, who help families and fallen officers, family members, and departments with things such as counseling. Both of those organizations have been well vetted. They actually both have had officers that are part of our EPIC 4x4 Quest family that have obtained help from them. And so we've been able to have firsthand knowledge of how they work, as well as really getting to know these organizations. So as far as changes for 24, instead of 2 events or 2 large trips, we're only doing 1. So we're only having an annual, which will be in March. We added Go Topless last year. We're going to continue that this year. The Edge Automotive has already said that they will partner with us as long as Mile High Jeep Club. Based off of prior years, it should be on May 18th for the National Go Topless Day. We're looking at different venue sites, but we'll likely still be at Lincoln Tech this year, as long as they're willing to have us back. So stay tuned for that. Watch our website. We'll have more information out. We added 2 elite members. We had Mike Covert and Mike Taylor that were selected for these membership roles. Basically, every year they have a guaranteed spot on the annual. They also help or will help in a volunteer role if and when needed. And they will maintain this membership until they resign from it, or if they were to not pay for their membership, or if they become on the naughty list and we kick them out. If that were to happen, we would backfill them or offer that spot up to somebody else. And then we did an auction slot for the annual event. It ended. We had that end prior to the lottery slot. There wasn't as much interest in that. We may try changing that up for 2025. But this year it's going to be filled by Bruce. So those 3 spots are already done. And then the other thing that's changed is prior years we have had 2 officer runs and then the 2 open to everybody runs. We're going to maintain and keep the 2 officer runs. We're going to eliminate the ones that were open to everybody. They were not contributing or supporting our mission to the extent that we hoped they would. So we're going to use that time to devote elsewhere to make sure that the mission's being met. So we're eliminating those. We'll continue to help and support the Edge with their runs as well as their Jeep and Java events as much as possible. Questions before I jump to how the random selections work for the annual event on as far as what changes are taking place for 24, or anything else to add from the team?
Not that I can think of.
All right, I'm taking silence as golden, so we're going to jump to how this works. So there's 4 random selections basically that take place. The first group are any of the officers that put an application in. 1 is selected from that for a free slot. Those that are not selected to that automatically go into the second random selection, which then also has anybody added to that group that was not part of the prior year, in this case, 23's big trips. We're taking 4 slots from that. The goal is to try to help get more new people on an event, or those that haven't gone that prior year. And then the third is the remaining 5 slots. This is anybody that did not get picked in one of the other random selections, as well as anybody that joined in the prior year, in this case, 23. So you've got 2 elite members, 1 auction slot, 1 officer slot, and 9 lottery slots to make up the group. And then you'll have Jake as a volunteer. We will help lead. Kevin and Kim are our mids. And then David always takes up the tail end of the group. And then the last group basically just creates an order in which, if a spot were to become available, that we'll offer out. It's very common for us to have 1 to 2 end up not being able to join. So if you really want to go, you can always just take the time off or plan something for that time, and that could be canceled so that if something did come up, you have the opportunity to still join. So here's the list. Yellow means that you were on an event for 23. Blue were our officers. If it is white, then they were not part of our event in 23 or have never been part of one of our events. So as I mentioned, because we were struggling and I was concerned about how things would go, we went ahead and we did this. So it was dropped into the random picker. And for our officer, our winner was Glenn. So I don't know, Glenn, if you're on the phone or not, but congratulations on that. We're excited to have you with us. And if you're not on the phone, I'll harass you later. And then, as I mentioned, so anybody that was in this group that didn't get selected, and then anybody, oops, went back to the wrong one, anybody that was on this in this white group got dropped into our second, and then we selected the 4. And so Angie, John, Naomi, and Lewis were the 4 that were selected from that. So congratulations to you 4. And then anybody that didn't make it in this group or the prior group, as well as all those that were in yellow, went into group 3. And our last 5 are Gretchen, Diego, Robert, Randall, and Carlos. And we will put out the order or put out the information out there as well. Besides just this, there'll be a list we'll throw out. You'll receive an email with details in there for how to accept. We will need either some kind of, whether it's verbal, because you call us, tell us here, respond to an email or text, either any of the above will work, but we will want some kind of confirmation that you're accepting the position. If for some reason anybody chooses to not accept or they do not pay their deposit in time or don't pay at all, then it will automatically go to next in line. So that would be Rick would get first opportunity for a spot, and then Bill, and then Pamela, Kathy, William, Chelsea, Cody, Joshua, and David. So that's how that's gonna work in the event we have a spot open or somebody does not accept. Now that I've done all that, I'm gonna come back over here and say, does anybody have any questions as far as any of, or how any of that went? No. Congratulations to those that were selected. We're really excited to have you. Those that didn't get selected, like I said, stay tuned. Can't promise that there couldn't be an offer that comes. There always is a possibility. Few things that we'll kind of mention about the event for those that were selected, and even if you weren't, if you want to stick around so you have the idea of what potentially could come up, because you'll be working on a shorter time frame than those that get the first offer. The start location and end location are approximately 10 hours from the Denver area. The pre-night and the post-night are automatically built into this event due to the distance away. It was just easier, better, and safe to just have it all built in. So you're going to see that the price of this event is a little higher than prior years. Part of that is because of that pre and post night is automatically built in. It's not optional. And the locations we're staying are a little higher in cost. So as far as that goes, so you're going to see that it's a little higher. If you've gone prior years, no, that's why. You do have to be street legal and be able to drive. I can promise that we will probably see a mix of all types of conditions, especially with it being in March. Pre-runs, we had everything from mud, snow, sleet, rain. There was hay, there was definitely snow, sand, rocks, you name it, we had it. So there was plenty of water. So definitely be ready for a little bit of anything as far as that goes. You'll want to make sure that you have a spare since we are not having trailers with us and we're traveling, the ability to get you off trail is going to be essential, and to get you someplace to get a tire of any sort fixed in some of these towns is just not going to be a thing. So you definitely want to make sure that you have a spare tire. Highly encourage to have an operating winch, the kind that you use for recovery, not the other kind.
Candace.
Your dinners will all be included. As far as once the event starts, your pre-night, we'll try to give you a restaurant that we're all going to be at in a time, but that will be on your own expense. Can choose to join us or not. That will be totally optional. But we will provide dinner when the event officially starts. So day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4 we'll all have a dinner. We have tried to arrange where there's ability to be inside for those dinners. So if the weather isn't great, knowing that it's March, we do have some shelter available and hopefully some warmth. What else? What am I missing? What am I not thinking about? Anybody? Oh, something that's different this year than prior years is we are going to be in the same hotel more than one night. We will be changing hotel rooms, but there will be some nights that we will be in one hotel for more than one. So that will kind of be nice for a change, because it's always kind of a hassle to pack up and change every single day. So good news about that.
About the break.
Oh, we'll do that. Great. So the other thing is there will be a meet and greet. We highly encourage to be in person. If you can't be in person, we'll at least provide a call in so that you can hear anything of the important side. The reason to be in person, it just allows us to provide your banner that you'll run for the event at a minimum. It also lets us go through everything with you guys, get signatures on all of the waivers that are required, helps decrease time that first day. If for some reason you can't be in person but could call in, we can always catch you on the pre-night. Hopefully you're there early enough to do that, and if for some reason not, we can do it the morning of. We just have to start a little bit earlier with you. That meet and greet will be on March 2nd. It is going to be in a new location. I have to look to David for where that location is, because I've been there, but I don't recall it off the top of my head.
It's basically South Denver, right off of I-25 and Dry Creek. Just a little bit west of that. It's one of my nonprofit customers that has offered for us to use their big meeting space, so that'll be a nice place to have some fun.
It's a great facility. Excited to be there this year. Questions for those of you that are on the phone with us still? Anything you want to add? Anything you want to share?
Woohoo!
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're excited. We're very excited to have you guys.
You know me, I couldn't resist, so.
Where's the puppy, Chelsea?
I know. I want to see that puppy. Oh.
There we go.
All right. All have success when we see Leo. The Leo, the puppy. All right. Well, I'm going to end the recording part now.